all screwed up. And now the thing is, I don't have Facebook open, so I don't know what this is gonna.
Oh right, hang on a second.
Go to my homepage and on my Facebook page. I mean, I could do it too, but I only have so many screens here. Let me. We could be live right now, so be careful what you say. Let's see if we're live.
Is it your profile?
What's that?
Is it on going to be live on your profile?
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it looks like we're live. There's a video there that says we're live. I know. I guess you'd have to hit play, right? For it. Yeah, you'd have to hit the play button. Let me just see.
Your profile.
What's that?
Is it on going to be live on your profile?
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it looks like we're live. There's a video there that says we're live. I know.
I can hear. That's strange. I just heard exactly what you and I both just said.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of delay. So we are now live on Facebook, my friend. I just muted the Facebook page. So we are live. I assume it's recording. So I don't know if we'll know exactly who comes in and joins in to see us, if anybody. I have no idea because I'm not quite sure how that works. I have no idea whether or not, like with YouTube, you can see right away if people are watching you.
Sure.
But here on Facebook, I don't know that. But it definitely says Home Recording Made Easy is now live, and I can see you and I on there. And I just muted the audio so we wouldn't hear that double audio there. So to anyone that could be watching us on Facebook, how is everybody? This is Dave from HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com, obviously, and I'm with my good buddy Jonny, who you've seen on our live streams. You've seen on my Facebook page. He's all over the place. Jonny, say hello to all the lovely people.
Hey, folks.
That are out there. So Jonny and I are doing a kind of a test here. We've never done a live stream or a Facebook Live. We've only done up to this point stuff on YouTube. And so Jonny and I were working together last night trying to figure out a couple of things. A, can we actually go to Facebook and do a live stream here and do like a live broadcast, which it looks like we are. I don't know if anybody's actually seeing this, but we're going to find out later. And then B, one of the challenges for us was trying to figure out how in the world we have a Skype caller coming into our Wirecast live streaming software to get this to kind of work. So this is kind of a test. So Jonny, I called on Skype and we brought Skype and Jonny's video into Wirecast, and we are streaming that to Facebook. And with the good grace of the Lord, everybody can actually see it and see what we're doing, Jonny. And if not, you and I will just talk for a few minutes and then we'll record it and I'll put it up on YouTube and I'll put it on the Facebook page for everybody to see anyway. Jonny, maybe we should talk quickly about you and I, and kind of maybe what you're doing for Home Recording Made Easy. I know we haven't finished it yet, but you're in the process of creating a new Made Easy product. Jonny is going to be the first guest instructor on Home Recording Made Easy and is going to do a Made Easy series for us that I don't have the skill set to do or the talent, so I've commissioned Jonny to do it. So Jonny, tell the lovely people what in the world you're going to be doing for Home Recording Made Easy in the Made Easy series.
I am currently working on a product that we are kind of titling at the moment, Drum Programming Made Easy. So at the moment I am working on the beginner series. My plan is to do an intermediate series and an advanced series a little bit further down the line, so that we should have a complete set of nine videos that are about an hour-ish in length each, that'll take you through all my years of experience of programming drums since about the 1980s. So using Midi mostly is where I kind of started. Actually, I started out using a 16-bit language, I think, on a drum machine, one of those old Linn drum machines, and then using Midi extensively through Steinberg Pro 24, and then all through pretty much every version of Cubase that there has ever been up until 2014, since when I've been using Studio One. So pretty much you can do any of the things that I'm teaching on pretty much any DAW. I don't think there's a DAW in which the concepts that I'm teaching will not work. So
Very cool. So this is really, when we say drum programming, we're talking about MIDI, right? So we're using all MIDI programming using some of your keyboard controllers that you have behind you there. And we're talking about not only using Midi in Studio One, but we're talking about creating your own drum parts for songs from scratch, and then I'm sure there's some other things in there. So one of the things that I've we've had on Home Recording Made Easy series, we've done a lot of stuff with acoustic drums, but now we're bringing in the programming drums in the MIDI drums to kind of put that whole package together. So whether the artist is working with acoustic drums or whether he or she is working with MIDI drums, they'll have all the instruction that they need to create MIDI drum parts in their songs or in their productions.
Yeah, pretty much. And, with the explosion of the home studio market industry, if you like, a lot of people have a space similar to mine, which is, tiny. You can fit maybe me and a trumpet player standing behind me.
Right.
Pretty much about it. I did the crazy thing just recently of recording a big band, 15-piece big band in this room.
Wow.
So I fit like two people at a time, so I had like two trumpets standing either side of me, and a lot of people don't necessarily have the ability to record drums. So with the explosion of great drum sample libraries like Loop Loft, there's the great Matt Chamberlain sample set that you can get, which is extraordinary, I have to say.
Right.
You get one of the best session drummers, and you can drop him basically into your own project in any DAW. Those are really, really cool. But the secret really is to know how to make it sound authentic. The samples can be fantastic and as utterly realistic as possible, but you can still get exposed by not knowing how a drummer thinks, how a drummer actually sits down to play, what thought process they go through for creating a drum part. So that's what I'm trying to do with these products, is take you through very basic patterns all the way through to doing much more complicated jazz stuff with comping on the snare drum whilst riding and those kind of things, and being able to do those both with the keyboard controller and also drawing them in the piano roll as well. So
really cool. So the goal or the or part of your goal is to I watched one of the videos already. So what you're really trying to focus on is to try to make these programs, these parts sound like a real drummer actually played them, as opposed to when you use a lot of the pre-canned easy drummers and superior drummers. And although they're fantastic drum sounds and the sound are there, but one of the struggles that a lot of people have is that you just grab a lot of the stock grooves and you kind of string them together, and although it works, it's really cool, but it becomes very repetitious, and it's pretty obvious pretty quick that a real drummer really didn't play that it sounds like a drum machine, or it sounds like a really, really nice high fidelity, but it's really repetitive. And your series is really trying to go from section of song to section of song, showing how a real drummer may change things up a little bit to sound more human. So it's not so perfect and so right on the grid, so to speak, all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And there are some common denominators that you can spot a mile off when you hear a song with programmed drums. If the person who has programmed them doesn't really know what they're doing, you can tell because particularly a point like a drum fill going into a chorus, if you can still hear the hi-hat being played. A drummer's not going to be able to play the hi-hat with their left or right hand and play the complicated drum. Right. Just not going to happen, not even with somebody who's been playing for over 30 years like me. I'm not going to be able to do that. Right.
So coming from you, you're a drummer for 30 years, so you really know intuitively from part to part how you would maybe switch from the hi-hat to the ride, or where you may change up the snare and the kick between sections of the song to just give it a little bit more variety, a little bit more flavor, so it's not so repetitious.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for as much as I do use, and I've shown in the videos thus far, I'm not going to give too much away, obviously.
Sure.
But I do make use of things that you would use in just everyday editing, like copy and paste. But it's how you do that and when you do that that's important in creating an authentic drum part. Because really what you want to do is you want to be creating something that has integrity, that has authenticity.
Right.
Even at the very basic level, the very beginner level, having never done anything remotely resembling drum programming before, from the ground up, I want to teach that you can create a completely authentic drum part just with a little bit of know-how.
And all of this I know you're doing in Studio One. So is there any other special third-party software? How are you doing this? Are you doing this all with just Studio One, standard stock tools that you could get in pretty much? I know every DAW has some kind of a drum, programming plugin or VST of some kind, even if it's not the same one that you might be using in the series.
I've tried to make it as broad as possible. I am, for the most part, I'm using the Contact 5 player that comes from Native Instruments.
Okay.
And I believe it's free. The Contact 5 player is free, and it comes with, I think, the Abbey Road 1960 drum set. And it also comes with a sort of what they've called a funk drum set as well.
Gotcha.
That, I think, originally came bundled with Studio One version 2. But you can just go to the Native Instruments website and you can register yourself there, and you should be able to just get it as a free download. But I do know that Cubase has their own really rather massive now sample library.
Yeah.
Their own sample player. And I think you can also get Battery 4 as well, or Battery 5, I think it is now. Is it Battery 6 even? Might be.
Right.
That you can get as well. But pretty much I'm just using general MIDI principles that you could apply to any programming software.
So it doesn't really matter. All the techniques will pretty much easily transfer depending on what tools you're using, which is really cool. The other thing, One other thing I wanted to ask you about this too. One of the things that I've noticed too, and again, a lot of people do this in the digital realm, and I guess there's nothing wrong with it, but especially when you talk about drums, it's a lot of times if you're going to be playing the parts, let's say live on a MIDI controller, and then after the fact, everybody quantizes everything right on the grid. Where I guess if you're way off, you want to try to bring them so they're in time, certainly. But do you feel that when you're creating drum parts, if you can pretty much play in time, do you leave them unquantized, for lack of a better word, to kind of give it more of that human feel as opposed to putting everything right on the grid all the time?
I think if it jives well with the groove of the song, I'm not going to touch it.
Right.
To be honest.
Right.
Unless there's something really, really sloppy. Like, if there's a drum fill that is just ludicrously sloppy, but the groove is great, then yes, I would probably go and if I don't manually shift each note, which I might do, I might just grab that whole thing and just, quantize it in place. But the thing about quantize is, if you have it set to a strict value, like exactly a 16th or exactly an 8th, then it does sound incredibly robotic and, for want of better term, metronomic.
Sure.
Which doesn't sound particularly great. So what I tend to do is I tend to do something called swing.
Okay.
So I can give, you certainly can do this in Studio One, and I believe you can do it in Cubase, where you can give it a percentage of a swing feel. So instead of the 16th notes being, machine gun like daka 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 daka,
right,
you can impart a little bit of a swing feel to those rhythmic intervals, so that they're not exactly a 16th note. There may be 16th plus, another half of a 16th.
Right.
So
right.
It gives it a slightly lazier feel. So I tend to use like a 15 or 20%. So it gives it a slightly looser feel.
Cool. That's really cool. So how long do you think this series is going to be when it's all said and done? I know you're in the middle of shooting it, and I know it's not coming out for a little bit, but if you had to guess, what do you think we're looking at here? I know the first part was a little over an hour. It was over an hour, I believe, right? Like an hour and 20 minutes or something?
It was an hour and 3 minutes, the first one. And I'm aiming for kind of around about that for each of the videos.
And there's 3?
And there's 3 for the beginner series, and then the intermediate, I don't know how many
we
videos
haven't gotten there yet, right? So we're looking at 3 hours anyway. We're looking at 3 hours worth of beginner series drum programming for everyone out there that's using MIDI, that has never really done it before, or has some experience with it but really has the problem we just kind of spoke of, where everything kind of sounds obvious that it's not real drums. And you'll have 3 hours worth of teaching, and then tips and concepts and tricks to how you get them to sound more real, how you can kind of mask the fact that they're not really real, and so it just sounds natural. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And again, for anyone that's bought any of the Made Easy products before, they know that for 3 hours worth of training, this will be the same price as we've always sold all the Made Easy products, for $15 US, and then every now and again we put them on sale a few times during the course of the year. And this is going to be a standalone title, as just the title that Jonny has created for home recording Made Easy. And then we're also going to bundle that title with the acoustic recording drum series that I did about 6 months ago. So if you don't have that series yet and you want to know all about recording acoustic drums for beginners and recording MIDI drums and programming MIDI drums for beginners, you can buy that as a package and you can save a few bucks that way, which is great for people. So you get like 6.5 hours worth of training for like $24, which is insane. To say the least. Yeah, it's insane. So I'm really excited that you've actually created this, and this is fun because this is the first time anyone has ever created any content for the Made Easy product line, and I'm super stoked and super happy that you were willing to do it and bring your talent to the game. Because if I tried to do that series, it would not be nearly as good because I just don't work with MIDI as much as you do. So it should be a lot of fun. And as of the recording of this live, well, we think it's live. We have no idea whether anyone on Facebook can actually see it because there's no chat room and there's no way for me to know whether or not. Who knows? It looks like you and I are on Facebook, but I guess we'll find out after the fact. But we're probably looking at, what are we, at the end of March? We're probably looking at about the end of April before we're all said and done and we got it ready to go and all the videos are edited. And so we're probably looking about 3 or 4 more weeks before it'll be ready.
Yeah, something like that. That's I'm looking to get this beginner series out and ready to market as soon as possible. Yeah,
so it'll be coming sooner than later. We're and for everyone that's watching this, if you stick to the Home Recording Made Easy YouTube channel, and right here on Facebook, we'll do a promo video and we'll announce when it's going to come out, and we'll let people know. And anyone that's on the Home Recording Made Easy VIP email list, you'll get notification before anybody else. And usually what happens is you guys will usually even get, for a limited time, a special price on it that won't be made to the general public, and we'll do that as well. And we'll throw in some freebies and we'll do some stuff to get everyone checking out Jonny's stuff. And that's going to be really cool, man. So that's awesome. So I'm glad we tried this. We don't know if this works, but this is pretty cool. And if this kind of goes off well, we'll do more live Facebook broadcasts, and we're going to continue to do the live streams. And I think what will happen is next month, it'll probably be right around when we do the live stream, Jonny, when your thing is going to be ready to go. So maybe you jump on YouTube and we'll do this over YouTube like we're doing it right now, and we can announce it to people then as well, because we tend to get a lot of followers on the YouTube live stream every month.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, the whole thing should be rocking and ready by then, I should think.
Yeah, and we'll probably cut a promo together, maybe a sample footage of the series once we get towards the end, so people can kind of check out what it is. We'll put a 2 or 3 minute video together of different parts of the series, so people get an idea of what you're kind of bringing to everybody.
Yeah, I'll reach into my belly and find that deep Richard Burton voiceover voice.
Yeah, like a movie trailer, right?
Where nothing is simple.
That's right. Well, one thing I'm finding out about this whole live streaming thing here is that on YouTube we would have a chat and we'd have people asking us questions right now, because if there's 100 people watching this, I don't think on Facebook I don't see anywhere where there's. At least
I'm monitoring that just now. And
is there a chat room or some kind of a thing? I mean, this is we're in 2017, and I should know all about this social media stuff. And as everybody knows, this whole thing.
There's the comment button.
I saw one comment there, and I left a comment and said hello, but I have no idea whether anybody. This is supposed to be live, right? So you would think we would be able to see a chat or people or something. Maybe that's not the case on Facebook. We're going to have to learn as we go.
We've got 6 viewers at the moment, I think.
We do? How do you know that?
I'm looking at the page just now, and it's got the live button flashing away, and then next to that it says 6.
Oh, cool. Well, maybe there's 6 people. Well, if there are 6 people here watching live, certainly leave a comment or throw a question out for Jonny or myself, and we will be happy to answer it if there in fact is a question. I don't see what you're seeing there, but you know what? Maybe you are seeing that. I don't know. I just saw on the Facebook page that we just have kind of the frozen video. I don't see us live. If I hit play, I'm afraid we'll get an audio feedback loop, so I don't want to do that.
Likewise, because all of my audio goes through my monitor station, so it would be recorded. So.
Right. Yeah, I see the video where it says it's reached 73 people and it's got 18 views, but I don't know if that means there's actually 18 people watching this live as it's happening, or if there's just 18 people that just happened to see that there was something going on. It looks like we've been running about 19 minutes right now, and it says we're still live, but I don't know.
Bobby Booth says he's watching. I'm just reading the comments at the bottom of the video here.
Okay, cool.
And Eric Mosley. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric. Yeah, I know Eric.
He says, just give me a heads up when you guys are going to do this. So I'm not quite sure what he means.
Yeah, that probably, even like sometimes when I jump on YouTube without telling anyone, people sometimes are frustrated because they don't realize and they want to get there and they're not near their computer. And Eric, so we did this completely only as really a test to see if we could do it. Again, learning this live streaming thing. So when we're going to do regular live streams, we will schedule them just like the YouTube ones are now all scheduled. If you go out to the Home Recording Media YouTube channel, there's already a scheduled event for, I believe it's April 22nd, we said last night. It's like the 3rd Saturday of April.
Yeah.
And we'll try to do that every 2nd or 3rd Saturday of the month going forward, 8 p.m. Eastern. There is going to be another live stream where we're actually going to mix a song on the Studio Live 32. We'll talk about Jonny's drum programming thing, and then we'll take questions and answers and just, kind of just go with it and see what people want to chat about. Yeah, but in the future, we try to do these things. We try to schedule them, but sometimes the only way to know how to do this is to just jump on there and do it and see that it works. And we have to go live to do that, unfortunately. So I apologize if people were expecting us to schedule this. But that's cool. Does anyone have any questions for Jonny or for myself? I don't see where the chat is to Jonny, but if you can monitor that and you can see where people might be asking us a question, that'd be really cool. And we can certainly do it. I know there is a way to do it because when I saw our good friend Johnny Geib do his last Facebook Live, he was live and I was typing and he was reading live what I was typing him. So I know there is a place to see that. I just don't know where that is on Facebook.
Okay, I'm just having a look. It's confusing because I have I have our live thing here and then the Facebook. I've obviously muted it, but it's like a good couple of seconds behind, I think.
But it's actually, the video's actually playing. Yeah, see, mine's just paused. I'm not even playing it. So I don't know if that means, but I only see a couple of comments underneath. You must be looking in a different place than I am, which is fine. No big deal. If you can see it, that's all that matters. But we'll figure it out. I'll have to do some research on how exactly this works and get into the 21st century, but it says we reached quite a few people already. So that's a good sign. 34
views in total so far.
Great.
But that doesn't mean that everybody is currently now watching, but
yeah, I wish there was a way to see that.
Yeah, I think we have 6 watching right now.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's good for not announcing anything in advance.
How do I do that? Let's see. Does that show me who's watching just now?
I just see where it says views and how many people it's reached.
Okay.
But I don't see. Oh, you know what? There is. If you look at the top of the square, it says live in the top left-hand corner, and then there's a eye. I think that there's 6. I don't know if that means there's 6 people watching. That little eye. Is it mean that is that what that means?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so we do have 6 people watching then. I just don't know who those 6 people are, but maybe we're not supposed to know. It's not like a chat room on YouTube.
Yeah. I think this is possibly the downside of Facebook Live, is that it is a little less interactive, a little bit less personal.
Right. Yeah, I tend to like YouTube, but at least now we know we can do it, and that's always a good thing to do. And if it works out, we'll do more of these, and if not, we'll just stick to YouTube if that's more convenient. At least we know we can interact with people via a chat room that way. So we should be able to bring you from Skype right into YouTube just the way we did on Facebook. It should be exactly the same way, and hopefully it looks good on Facebook. I mean, what I'm seeing in the preview window, everything is nice and, the way it should be. And for just whipping it together, it looks okay.
Yeah, it looks good to me too. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a question of as you say, not being able to see who's on and who's asking a question.
Yeah. What are you going to do? So anyhow, we've been on here, probably close to a half an hour at this point.
Yeah, 25 minutes.
So maybe we ought to just kind of call it quits there, so we're not just rambling on and people then won't watch for sure. And what we'll do is, this is recording via Wirecast now anyway, so I'll take a look at the post, and then I can always throw it up on YouTube, or I can re-put it on Facebook if for some reason it doesn't do it on its own. I don't know. And we'll figure it out from there. So thanks again, everyone, for the 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 or however many people are watching us. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm excited to announce Jonny being part of the Home Recording Made Easy family, and we'll be doing more stuff together in the future.
Yes.
And until the next time, this has been Dave at homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and my wonderful co-host,
Jonny Lipsham at jonnylipshamstudios.co.uk.
Yeah, go check out his website as well. So we'll see you guys all soon. Take care.
Cheers.